and welcome back to some more information about the CabControl system. This time we're going to cover doing some auto registration of ESU equipped RailCom Plus locomotives. So basically, if you have any ESU equipped locomotive, we've already built in features that this system can use. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the other systems that are on the market today, they don't have the abilities to work with RailCom and RailCom Plus, so they're not going to be able to auto-register. So since 2009, 2010, when the first selects and version 4.0s came out, we've had these great features already built into the decoders, but we had no system in North America to really be able to utilize any of them. Finally, that's over. So now that the CabControl system is on the market, now granted, yes, the E-Coast could have done this, but the E-Coast is honestly made more for a European feel. It's got a lot of features and it's very, very useful here in North America, but the CabControl system was really designed for how we run our trains, be able to walk around big trains, handheld throttles, and that type of thing. So those features of the E-Coast, though, we've taken the best ones and we've put them into the CabControl. And in my opinion, one of the very best ones that we have is that ability to self-register and to work with RailCom Plus equipped locomotives. Now the great thing about that is because you've been buying ESU equipped engines all along, now you already have that ability in your engine. So if you're going to purchase the newest run of Athearn FEFs or Challengers that are coming out, already RailCom Plus equipped. Walthers, SW1200s and Jeeps and all the other engines that are coming out from them, RailCom Plus equipped. The Kato N-Scale or HO engines that are Kobo being equipped with ESU decoders, RailCom Plus equipped. The scale trains, all of their engines, SD40-2s and Gevos and turbines and the new engines that are coming, RailCom Plus equipped. Cision, if you're into the Australian market, we've been starting to work with a lot of the Australian companies. All of them will be RailCom Plus equipped. So that'll include Wooski, that'll include Southern Rail, and others that we're working with there. As soon as you put it on the track, going to self-register already. RailCom's going to pick up, all the icons are going to fill in. Intermountain, Bowser, Rapido, Atlas, and their new gen sets that are coming, U25Cs, from Riverosi. All of these companies that are using ESU decoders, again, they have these features already built in, and they've had them since 2010 or before. So you don't have to add anything new to your engines to be able to use these features. It's just automatically going to register. So let's take one that I've installed sound in. So even end user decoders in any brand, if it's an ESU decoder, it's going to have some RailCom stuff already built in. The ESU Loc Programmer gives you the full ability to go in and edit what RailCom is going to be transferred, what data I should say. So the name of the locomotive, all of the icons, you'll be able to choose them right in the Loc Programmer to load them into the file as you're loading it into the engine. Again, the name, you can put a picture in there, which is going to give you an index number, which is going to correlate to pictures that are in the CabControl system. So you'll be able to essentially pick the picture that you're going to want to use already. And of course the address is going to self-register as well if it's already built in. So if it's 03, as I've mentioned on a previous video, we can only have one of the same address in the CabControl system because it's going to look at conflicts. We have to talk to every single engine individually, and when you get into detection and things like that for signaling and all of that, you want to have an individual address. Now, if you want to name them the same thing, that would be okay. You can have different names. And because you can have names, it doesn't matter if you have things numbered the same or not. You don't have to go by your road number anymore. You can go by the name. And again, I put sound into this. This is a Broadway H9. So let's put this on the track. I'm going to try to do this quickly because it'll self-register as I do it. So, of course, I picked one with lots and lots of wheels in it. So as I put this on the track, on the very bottom of my screen, a white bar is going to show up, and I press open, and what that does is it sucks all the information from this decoder into the throttle and of course then into the system. So if I don't press the white bar, if I don't press open, it will register, it'll acknowledge it in the system, and it'll store it in my list of locomotives. So if I go to the plus here, I could see that now in my list I've got PRR 8259, and by doing that, that happened, I should say, by this sucking all that information in. It's basically just a big sponge for RailCom. So now it's got the address there, it's got the name PRR 8259, again, which I gave it when I programmed the decoder. The address below is 8259, so that number that's in the name has nothing to do with the address. It's just the name that I gave it. For me, it was easier to recognize it as the road number and the railroad. You could do others, like here's Conrail SW1200, here's Rapido rebuilt GMD1, UP FEF from Athern, but all of those is self-registered as I put things on the track. Now, not everything will. If it's a non-ESU decoder, or you have RailCom turned off, or maybe it's an earlier 3.5 decoder, you don't have to use the self-registration. You can put them in manually. Again, I did cover that a little bit in a previous video, but I'll cover it again here. Basically, we just go to the little menu at the top. We want to create a locomotive. We enter in the name of the locomotive. We can change the image to what the picture or the icon will be. We can change the address, give it the address that we're looking for, or if we already know that that engine's programmed to a certain address, we can type that in there. Because remember, it doesn't have RailCom, so it's not going to interfere, it's not going to try to load it again. We have to tell it this time. And we can choose what speed step. RailCom will pick up what speed step was set by the settings in the load programmer too. Typically they're 28 or 128. For the non-RailCom equipped engines, you can also go in, even though it's not RailCom, you can still go in and you can add the icons that you want. Momentary or latching, you can invert them, you can change the pictures of the icon to match up with the function buttons, so you don't have to remember what function button does what anymore. So that's all done on a non-RailCom equipped engine. Say you got something already put together with RailCom, you put it on the track, and maybe you want to change the icon, or maybe you want to deactivate an icon. You can still go in and edit, and maybe you want to change the address. Maybe this came in as 03 instead of 8259. You can go into Edit Locomotive, and once it's there, you can change the name to anything you want. You can change that address. You can change the speed steps. It's just like you were entering a new locomotive, but now you're giving the opportunity to edit it. Once you've edited on your screen in a RailCom Plus engine, it's going to write that information to the decoder. So if you take that decoder somewhere else, it's going to remember that. So just be aware. Again, you can change the icons. So that's all built in. Now again, once it's there, I didn't have to type anything to put this here. All my icons are there. This is a momentary button. As soon as I let go, it stops. If I hold it in, just like any other throttle that's out there today, only now I can choose what button is momentary or latching. I can put that somewhere else if I want. My heavy load and my coast for my full throttle features, all those icons are already built in, so you can see there's a weight lifter for heavy load, there's a feather for coast or drifting or light load. So you can see the headlights. This particular one looks like it has an air horn. Let's see if it's in there. Oh, yeah, it is. Steam engine maybe for an SP or a Milwaukee or others that have air horns along with their whistles. So that's why that's there. So all of that's built in. If you noticed, as I wanted to get my higher function buttons, all I did here is scroll up and down, and I can get to all those high function buttons. So even if you can't see them on the screen, you don't have to press any extra buttons. Now, something I have not shown yet, and I should have shown it in a previous video, it just occurred to me that I have not. Every one of these side buttons can be programmed as well. The ones right here on the side, they can be programmed to be any of the function buttons. I can make it so that I could change you know, to something else. Maybe I wanted to change direction with that. Maybe I wanted to bump the speed up or bring it back down. So in order to do that, I want to go into my settings menu, and lower left button here on the bottom. So I press the settings, go into where it says settings at the bottom, scroll that up and down. I go to key bindings, and that basically these are function keys. So I'm going to key bindings, and now I can see top left key over here. As I'm looking at the screen, that's where I'm associating left and right, and top and bottom. So top left is this button here, bottom left, top right, bottom right. And every one of those can be assigned to something different. I use full throttle a lot, and that's F9 as a drive hole button. I'm right-handed. It's very convenient and comfortable for me to hold the throttle like this and be able to use my thumb for that drive hole button. I can do it without looking. I can have it behind my back. So a lot of times I'll assign this as as function 9, and that's what it is now. So as I'll try to do it so you can see this. As I press the button, you can see function 9 is turning on and off. Now with the key bindings, that's universal. So while every single function button could be different here compared to what's in the decoder, I should say it's going to be the same back and forth to the decoder, but from one engine to the next, my function buttons could be different. So just be aware of that, because when you assign these side buttons, they are universal. So if this top right button is F9 for the steam engine, it's going to be F9 for everything that we put in. So if F9 is not drive hold with some engine on your layout, you're going to have to be aware that if you push that button, you're still going to press F9. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's drive hold. That's going to depend on the function mapping of your decoder. So again, RailCom Plus, it just makes things easier. It will have a lot of communication value in a lot of different ways. Detection, I already showed you how I can program decoders with that. I'm going to be able to do other things in future updates. You know, we didn't consist yet. We'll be able to do some things with consisting because of RailCom. We'll be able to do some CV changes because of RailCom that are a little bit easier. So speaking of consisting, we're talking about running the trains and what it would take. So obviously the simple side of running the trains, just turn the throttle and it'll move. If you, sorry I'm in the way, I click that, I take the throttle, click it all the way back, I've changed direction, and now it's going the opposite direction, and I've likely coupled here, so yeah, of course I did. So speaking of coupling, say we wanted to consist two engines. So if I can get things back on the track here. Say to make it easy so you can see what's going on, let's consist this PRR 8259 with the UP 844. Probably not something you're going to see in real life, but that's okay. So we'll go up to the top menu here, the top right menu settings, and you'll see Edit Locomotive, Delete Locomotive, Create Consist. So we're going to create that consist. We have to give it a name, so we'll just call this Steam Consist. And you just type that in, go into the field there, press it so that you're now typing, and just go ahead and type whatever you want to put in there. You can name these consists anything that you'd like, and this will help you find them later. So once you've done that, you're done. You could change the picture. Now it's going to have a generic picture of two engines coupled together as a consist. We have multiple system consists already built in, so you could go in and pick one of those, or eventually you'll be able to do user icons to choose the one you want. I'm just going to leave the default for now. Now we have the name and we have the picture, but we don't actually have any engines in there yet. So we go up, there's a plus button on the very top right. We press the plus, and that's going to take us to our locomotive list. All of the engines that are in the system now are available for consist. So we pick which ones. We're going to pick 8259. It doesn't really matter which is your leader, because you can go down here and you can choose. Again, future updates, we're looking at being able to turn function buttons on and off per engine, per direction, all withheld into the system. So I can't wait for that to happen. That's going to make consisting so much easier than what it's ever been in DCC systems. So now we want to choose front or direction, forward or reverse. In this case, we're double heading, forward and forward, elephant style, as you may hear. Now we need to add a second engine. We've got the PRR engine in there. Let's put the UP engine in. Again, you press the button. Now if you notice, my list is shorter. Any engine that's already in a consist is not available to be put in the same consist especially, but or another consist. It's already being used. So you won't see that in there anymore because it's already been selected. Now we hit the UP844. And you'll notice that the arrows are facing the same direction here. So we're okay because the engines are facing the same direction. Now, if you're like many out there, you might have some that are long hood forward, so you may switch that or things like that. You can switch that up if maybe something's wired backwards or you've already changed forward to reverse. You can change that direction. Maybe you have something nose to tail. Again, just change the direction. You want to add another engine, you can keep adding. There's really no limit to how many engines you can have in consist. So now that they're in there, I could go into each engine, I could edit, I could remove them from consist if I've made a mistake or I'm done with this consist. Just to the little 3 dots to the right of the direction arrows, that'll give me another menu, and now I can choose to edit or remove them. So I'm going to leave them together, and then I go up and I have to press save, and that actually creates the consist once it's saved. So now that I have this in here, it's called Steam Consist. Now when I move my throttle, you'll notice, even though they're not speed matched very well, not too bad, they will move together. And I click that backwards again to switch direction. And if I turn my F8 on, and you can hear them come to life. Now, because all of the function buttons go through all of the engines, if I press my drive hold button, now both engines are locked in drive hold. And you can hear the intensity get greater. Go in reverse. Now say I only wanted the lead engine. I wanted to be in the cab of the lead engine, just blow the horn or the bell or the whistle or whatever from that engine. Rather than operating from the consist, all I have to do to get from one engine to the next on my screen is to swipe back and forth. So now I'm in the UP engine. I'm in consist, but I'm in that engine to be able to blow the whistle. Go to the PRR. Now, because these engines are in consist, they know enough that they have to run together. So if I'm leading, if I'm sitting in the PRR engine as the engineer, and I'm at the throttle, when I start to move, because they're consisting, I'm moving both engines. But I'm sitting there, so I only have control of those functions aside from motion. If I want to control everything, I can go to the Steam Consist. That's the consist of controlling everything and every function button. Now when I blow the whistle, I get everything, and that'll happen with all the function buttons. So there is an update that we're looking at doing to be able to control while in consist, to be able to say this engine is the leader, this engine is the trailer, this engine's in the middle, so you can help to control what lights are on and off depending on where your engine is in consist. You're not always at the lead, so that's why we want to be able to update and add things. Now, that's the great thing about this CabControl system. Updates are free, and they're, I wouldn't say often, but as needed. But they do happen from time to time. So always keep aware that you want to look on our website occasionally, and we may have an update out there to add some more features. Maybe we don't like to admit that it happens, but they're computers, so maybe there's a bug or something like that that could happen. We can fix it, again, with a firmware update. So that's the nice thing about all of our whole system, whether it be the CabControl system, the throttles, The locomotives, you can always change and upgrade. That's the ESU way. We want to get better as we go. And the great thing about it, once you've bought that system, that's included. Those upgrades are usually free, if not always free. So, you know, again, we're always trying to look to improve, and that's for your benefit as much as anyone else's. So that's how you run trains on the CabControl system. Again, if you have any questions, just let us know. Shoot us an email, contact us through this video, or stop and see us at a show. So we'll be around. Thanks for watching.